You know, I don't think there's anything I love more in this world than Spider-Man. So, to celebrate 60 years of Wallcrawler, I have decided I'm going to sit through every TV show this character has had, from 1967 Spider-Man all the way up to the most recent thing, which by the time of this video might be announced, the Homecoming show. That's the most recent thing announced. Oh boy, let's begin. Wow. Spider-Man's first betrayal outside of comics. How'd they do? Well, to start off on a positive note, I can say I think the show does a really good job with the characterization of Peter Parker in Spider-Man. Peter here has his smart and awkward nerd persona, while our famous web-slinger has his confident, strong, and determined hero persona, and it all feels like right out of the comics, for the time at least. Other major side characters like Betty Brant or Jay Jonah are pretty spot on to their comic portrayals for this time, too. As for the episodes the show has, well, they're an interesting topic to bring up. Some are amazing adaptations of the comics, others are a different direction, to say the least. It's also important to note that this was still during 1967. The character had only been around for like 4-ish years by the point this show came out, meaning that a lot of the major villains that make up Spider-Man as a franchise kinda take a backseat. In their place, this show makes a lot of new villains. A lot of new villains you're definitely not going to remember after watching this show. The episodes about the main villains from the comics, however, are actually pretty solid adaptations of either their origin stories or are fun new adventures for the character to fight in. The problem is, there's just not enough episodes with them. Something important to also note is that this show reuses animation a lot. Get ready to see Spider-Man web-sling a lot of times. Also, not to mention some of the jarring animation errors. Also, remember how I mentioned the strangeness of this show? Well, it kind of comes to play with the episode Phantom from the Depths, which uses footage from another show called Rocket Robin Hood almost the entire time. The only real difference being that Spider-Man is in the episode for some reason. Here, quickly, I wanted to go over my 3 favorite episodes of the show. Number 3, The Menace of Mysterio. I really like this episode. I love seeing Mysterio and Peter Parker butt heads, and it was a really good episode to introduce him in, plus a very fateful adaptation to his comic roots. Number 2, Season 1, Episode 19A, To Catch a Spider. Seeing Goblin, Vulture, and Electro all team up to up the spider is really fun, and it's really clever how Peter beats them. Plus, it gave us the Me and the Boys meme, so points for that. Number 1, Season 2, Episode 1, The Origin of Spider-Man. This just encapsulates everything about the character. The trauma, the emotion, and what drives him to be a superhero. Easily the best episode this show has ever produced. As for the worst episode, that honor goes to Season 3, Episode 9A, Rhino. This is just stock footage from all the other Rhino episodes. Nothing new here. I absolutely hate it because it wasted my... yeah, watching 60s Spider-Man for this review was definitely interesting. Definitely a unique take on the web slinger for his first adaptation on television. Yeah, safe to say, 60s Spider-Man was an experience, alright. Tune in for the next review where I take a look at Spidey Super Stories, a part of the Electric Company. Joy.